Why? Why impression making is very critical in fixed dental process. Impression is the negative replica of teeth and supporting tissues. The definitive processes is made on the accurate cast prepared from this impression. Compared to other dental procedures, fixed prosthetic restorations and replacements are having longer life. Their success rate is very high. Even a poorly fabricated dental processes will survive for many years. But if you're looking beyond, for a restoration which lasts 10 years or more, your restorative procedure should be really excellent. Now, what are the factors which can be improved by a good impression? One is excellent marginal adaptation. A good marginal adaptation is the merging of crown margin with the remaining part of the tooth. A properly fit margin cannot be distinguished even with a sharp. It provides excellent soft tissue health around the crown without causing any future dental gingival problems. Chances of secondary caries will be the least, which will contribute to the longer lifespan of the restoration. The second factor is the optimal cement space, which is approximately 25 microns. 25 microns means 1/4 the thickness of the paper. At the specified thickness, the luting cement will be exposed less to the oral fluids and will be having more resistance to dissolution, which also contributes to the longer lifespan. Now, a good emergent profile will improve aesthetics, reduce food lodgement, and improve self-flexibility of the restoration. What is emergence profile? The emergence profile is the angle at which the tooth emerges from the gums. Capturing the finish line and adjacent root portion will help to reproduce the proper emergence profile. Now, what are the objectives of an impression? They are good surface reproduction, dimensional accuracy, and dimensional stability. Surface reproduction is the ability of the material to capture all the surface details. And surface reproducibility of the elastomic impression material is up to 10 micron, that is less than the thickness of a human head. And the surface reproducibility of type 4 gypsum cast is 20 microns if you're using it along with elastomeric impression materials. An alginate impression material, whereas, can only record a line of only 50 microns. And moreover, the surface reproducibility of gypsum on an alginate impression is greater than 100 microns due to the inhibition of the surface layer by the calcium alginate. This makes an immense effect on the accuracy of fit of the processes fabricated on dies made from gypsum poured in alginate impressions compared to that of elastomer. Now, dimensional accuracy is reproducing the exactness in size and shape of the object which is required for a precise fit. And dimensional stability means the ability of the impression to maintain the dimensional accuracy made in the impression for a prolonged period. And dimensional stability is not an important factor if you are pouring the cast immediately. Here, a condensation silicon and an additional silicon is having a similar dimensional accuracy, but the C silicon is less dimensionally stable, but is very economical compared to additional silicon. Now, which are the materials available for making impressions? So these are the materials, and the agar and alginate, you already know that they are hydrophilic. Especially agar is a very good impression material, but it is outdated due to the comparison procedures involved. We'll discuss about the alginate at the end of the session. And coming to polycide, it is now no longer used, and C silicon is also about to be outdated. So the major elastomic impression materials we are going to discuss today are adhesion silicon and polyether. These are a few of the elastomic impression materials available in the market. This is an adhesion silicon putty material, Elite HD Plus, marketed by the Zermatt company, and this is very economical. Putty material is also available in premium quality. This is Hydrorise by Zermatt. Here the hydrophobic nature of the material is reduced and flow properties are improved. These are the two materials of adhesion silicon from the same company. One is economical and the other one is of the premium quality. Putty has to be combined with a light body material. Here you can see the light body material in the paste form. The paste form is economical. The paste form has to be dispensed and mixed with a spatula, and the cartridge form is a little bit expensive but more convenient to use. It is available with an auto-mix spiral and an intraoral tip. With the help of this tip, the material can be precisely injected to the finish line, interdental areas, and gingival sulcus, etc. This is the dispenser used for injecting the material. By pressing a knob behind, we can pull the handle backward and insert the cartridge and lock the cartridge in position. Now it's ready. We can see now how the mixing spiral is attached. Mixing spiral is, as well as the cartridge, is having a position indicator. You can see the notch and nick. And this has to be positioned properly. Now insert the spiral and lock it by turning. Now the whole thing is ready for use. When you press the handle, you can see the material being extruded and mixed through the spiral, and properly mixed material is ejected out through the intraoral tip, which can easily be injected around the prepared tooth. Another type of material is a monophase impression material. This is also adhesion silicon. This is available in single consistency. The wettability is improved, and because of the thixotropic nature, the material will flow properly when the pressure is exerted while making the impression. But for impression making, a special tray is required, which is made on the cast with a wax spacer. On the special tray, the adhesive has to be applied. This is VPS adhesive exclusively for adhesion silicon. The adhesive is painted on both the inner and the outer sides of the tray where the material might flow. We have to take care that the tray adhesive has to be dried before the material can be loaded. We can make good quality impression by using this material. We can make the impression with a single go, and if you want, you can combine it with a light body injectable material. This is polyether impression material marketed by 3M, that is Imbriga. Not too many companies are coming out with this product, and the material is available in single consistency. Because of the thixotropic nature, the material will get adequate flow when you exert pressure while we take the impression. Moreover, the material is more hydrophilic in nature. Here again, we need a special tray for making impression. Also, tray adhesive is essential, and specific tray adhesive for polyether is required, and the tray adhesive for polyvinyl siloxane cannot be used for this purpose. The adhesive has to be applied in a thin layer in the inner surface as well as for the outer, and dried. The two pastes are base and catalyst, which has to be dispensed in the same length and mixed with a heavy spatula with real force. Now, why elastomeric materials are technique sensitive? That is mainly there are two factors. One, they are polymers. And you know that all polymerization reaction results in a loss of volume and shrinkage. And the techniques were developed to compensate the shrinkage of these materials. Shrinkage can be minimized by reducing the thickness of the material, but too much reduction will result in a stiff impression material, and it will be difficult to remove the impression from the mouth as well as from the cast. And secondly, they are non-aqueous. Improvements are made to make them less hydrophobic, and hydrophobic nature has two impacts. In the oral cavity, it cannot displace blood and saliva from the field. Hence, it will be recorded as voids. Also, as the wettability is not good, pouring the cast with Dystone is also very difficult. And there are more chances of incorporating voids in the cast. That is why we say it is technique sensitive. Now, Why two consistent materials are required for making impressions? So flow properties and polymerization shrinkage varies with the consistency. A heavily filled material is highly viscous and has less shrinkage. But a low fill light body material is having good wettability, but the flow properties are not suitable for making impression if it is squeezed alone. Moreover, it is having heavy shrinkage too. By combining the good properties of these materials and eliminating the bad properties, we can make an excellent impression. Now, these are the available techniques for FDP impression or fixed general processes. That is putty wash, which is done in a one-step procedure, putty reline, which is a two-step procedure, and impressions with custom tray. That is, you can use polyether or imbriga, monophase, and then you have a dual arch impressions. Now, these are the different types of trays available in the market. These two are the metallic stock trays, and this is plastic disposable trays. This is custom fabricated special tray made in acrylic resin. This is the most common type of tray used in clinics. The main problem with these types of trays are that the borders are not rim locked. The tray is diverging outward. And the main problem with this tray separation is separation of impression from the tray, especially when you are using alginate impression material. These are disposable plastic stock trays available in different designs, and the retentive quality of the tray depends upon the design. Here, we can see more space is provided for locking of the impression material, and also some undercuts are also incorporated. The chances of tray separation are less. This is rim lock metallic stock tray. You can see the entire border is rim lock and undercut is present around the border. The impression material will be locked in the tray and will not be separated. This is good for alginate impressions. Same interlocking is seen in the lower impression tray too. Now, this is a custom fabricated special tray. You require an extra clinical and lab step for making this tray. Tray is made on a diagnostic cast. Spacers have to be provided by adapting 2 sheets of modeling wax, and stoppers are required at 3 separated points. That is 2 in the posterior and 1 in the anterior. These are the stoppers. That is 1, 2, and the third one. Stoppers are created by removing wax through cut wax at required areas, so that the tray will be in contact with the cast only in 3 areas. Here you can see that there is no rocking. Now you can see that cast is very stable and there is no rocking of the tray. Tray is very stable. The stoppers will provide uniform spacing around the tray, inside the tray, and these trays are used for monophase or polyether impression. Now we will move on to gingival retraction. Why gingival retraction, fluid and soft tissue management is important. First, we'll see about the gingival retraction. And gingival retraction is the procedure of temporarily opening the gingival sulcus to get access for the impression material. For this, we have innumerable materials and techniques available now. Example, gingival retraction cords, X-Pacil, magic form cord, retraction capsule by 3M, etc. And there are mechanical methods or chemomechanical methods of displacing gingiva. Now we will see how a retraction cord is applied. First, loop the cord around the tooth, and then with the help of a cord packer, insert the cord on the mesioproximal aspect and work around the lingual aspect. Place the cord just below the finish line. Instead of pushing the cord straight down, just tuck the cord up under the marginal gingiva without undue force, or otherwise you will injure the gingiva. Now, trim the cord at the proximal papilla and do not allow any excess cord overlapping. And gingival retraction will last only for a short time. Impression has to be completed within this duration or time span. For proper recording of the gingival sulcus, a 2-stage putty reline technique is ideal. But the thick putty material will compress the retracted soft tissues. Hence, the cord should remain in the sulcus when the putty impression is made. And remove the cord, irrigate well and dry the tissue just before doing the reline with the light cord. Now, the alternate techniques for gingival retractions are retraction capsule by 3M, magic form cord by Coltine, X-Facil, etc. Now, where bleeding is seen, gingival retraction will not be effective. To control bleeding, astringents or electrocautery has to be used. And this is Racegel by Cetteron, and it can be used alone or used in combination with retention cord. Now, soft tissue management is different from gingival retraction. Gingival retraction is not possible when gingiva is inflamed. There is excessive overgrowth of tissues or margins are placed far subgingivally. In this situation, a surgical method has to be adopted. We can use gingivectomy or laser surgery for obtaining this. Scalpel gingivectomy should be done well in advance. And the advantage of laser surgery and electrosurgeries is that we can do both at the time of tooth preparation and we can control hemorrhage too. Okay, now from
now we will discuss about the various techniques of mixing. First, we'll discuss about the mixing of putty material. For mixing the putty, you require special type of gloves. Vinyl gloves are recommended. We cannot use latex gloves since it inhibits the setting of adhesion silicone. Nitrile gloves also can be used. Putty material is available as base and catalyst. Separate scoops are available. We should not interchange these scoops. Equal volume of base and catalyst has to be dispensed and mix has to be dispensed. And mixed thoroughly. Usually, the assistant mixes this while you inject the light body material in patient mouth. Here, I use vinyl gloves over my latex one. Knead the material with fingers till you get a uniform color. Now you can roll it and load it in the tray. Now we will see how polyether is mixed. As I told you earlier, polyether is available as base paste and catalyst paste. Equal length of two paste has to be dispensed. In contrast to adhesion silicone material, catalyst is dispensed in less quantity. Base material is of major volume, so sufficient quantity of base has to be dispensed. Take equal volume of catalyst paste. The material is too thick and adherent. Hence, mixing is difficult compared to adhesion silicone. Mixing has to be done with firm pressure. Putty wash is a single-step impression technique. Assistant will mix the putty material and load in the stock tray. As the materials, at the time, the dentist will inject the light body material around the prepared tooth. Impression will be completed with tray material placed before the light material sets. Advantage is a simple procedure and serve a lot of chairside time. Disadvantages are there are more chances of incorporating impression defects like voids, incomplete margin recording, light body displays to the sulcus, flaw defects, layering, etc. Now we will discuss about putty reline technique. First one is tray selection. This is a two-step technique, and compared to putty wash, it is more accurate when in recording prepared teeth. Here, the initial putty material will act as a special tray. for the second wash impression. Spacer has to be provided for the light body material. Otherwise, hydrostatic pressure inside will compress the elastomeric material, resulting in rebound and undersized die. 2 sheet thickness of cellophane sheet is used as a spacer. Spacer has to be cut in 2 pieces. Appropriately sized stock tray is selected. It should cover the entire impression area with adequate space between the tray and the ridge. Load the tray with putty material. Place the cellophane sheet in position. Place the tray intraorally. Centralize the tray. Ensure proper position and exert pressure till complete seating. Stabilize the tray till the material set. Remove the tray from patient mouth and remove the spaces. Check for any interference. If there is any interference present, it could be removed with the help of a BP blade. Light body is now injected without incorporating any air bubbles. These techniques require slightly more material compared to putty wash material. Now the loading of light body is almost completed. Now we can mix some material around the prepared tip. Inject light body material around the finish line and a little bit around the adjacent teeth also. Now place the tray and press it to complete seating and stabilize the tray without any movement. Remove the tray once the light body is completely set. This is putty reline technique. After removing the impression from the mouth, carefully check interdental areas for any specks of residual materials. This has to be removed, otherwise it will result in gingival inflammation. In patients with existing FPD or severe open interdental embrasures, it is better to block such undercuts with wax or a temporary filling material. Dual arch impression technique. Now we'll discuss about the dual arch impression technique. Dual arch impression technique is a time-saving method of recording impression of prepared tooth, opposing arch, and the occlusion in a single step. It is a single step putty wash technique. Anterior and posterior trays are available. Dual arch tray has to be positioned and occlusion has to be verified. Rim of the tray has to be placed distal to the distalmost tooth and the patient has to bite on centric occlusion. The centric occlusion has to be verified by checking the occlusion on contralateral side. Ask the patient to bite on centric occlusion repeatedly to familiarize with closing in centric. Any interference in occlusion will result in incomplete closure and the impression has to be discarded. Patients with third molar occlusion, there will be insufficient space behind the third molar to pass the rim of the tray. Here, it will be difficult to use a dual arch impression. Despondent has come up with a metallic rim which require less space, which is more useful in such situation. Now we will see how a dual arch impression is being made. The material used are hydrorized putty and light body. Inject the light body with the aid of an intraoral tip around the prepared teeth without incorporating any air bubbles. Inject the material on adjacent teeth also. Load the dual arch tray with putty material. Position the tray in patient mouth and ask the patient to bite on centric occlusion. Excess material on the buccal side has to be molded towards the tissue. Ask the patient to hold till the material sets. Occlusion has to be verified on contralateral side. Remove the tray. Once the material is set, remove the tray and check for any defects. Occlusal contact has to be verified as transparent areas in the impression on non-prepared teeth. Now, we are living in a digital era. In dentistry also, the digitalization is getting popularized. Intraoral scanners, 3D printing, CAD/CAM milling are now being used in many dental clinics. The advantages are enhanced patient comfort, minimal wastage of material, reduction in chair side time, etc. Accuracy can be verified instantly. The dentist himself can design the restoration and fabricate a professional restoration or a surgical guide instantly with the help of a 3D printer. Full count preparation were done on second premolar and first molar. Instead of making an impression, the cast will be made in a digital image of the prepared tooth, opposing arch and occlusion. This is the intraoral scanner. It is shining 3D. It's a powderless scanner. The patient details and lab details will be entered in the software. We can select the crown, pondic, inlay, or an implant restoration, etc. The material also can be selected like composite, acrylic, etc. After entering, we can go for scanning the tooth preparations. Scanning starts from the buccal side and moves slowly towards the lingual. Step by step, the whole area. We can move buccal to lingual, lingual to buccal. Similarly, cover the whole area has to be covered with the scanner. And when you scan, care should be taken that the scanner is moved very slowly and it has to be kept close to the teeth. The scanning is in progress. After completing the buccal lingual occlusal, we can do some scanning of the alveolar ridge. Now the scanning is complete. Some defective area can be displayed, will be displayed in green color. We can do a rescanning for that area. Once the lower is completed, we'll go for the upper, complete the scanning of the upper opposing arch. Now we'll give for occlusal recording. Ask the patient to bite on centric occlusion. Scanning is done on buccal side. Around 500 frames are required to match the occlusion. Now the software is analyzing the occlusion. Analyzing is completed. This is a cast. Once the occlusion scanning is completed, the software will analyze. We can also visualize the buccal aspect, lingual aspect, occlusal clearance, etc. by rotating the image. Now the image can be uploaded to a designing software, ExoCAD, to design whichever work is required, like printing the cast, fabrication of a provisional, fabrication of trays, implant guides, orthodontic aligners, etc. Or you can send it directly to lab for a CAD/CAM processes, or you can send the image to a 3D printer for printing the temporary or something like that. Now to troubleshoot some of the commonly seen impression defects. This is the image of a poor reproduction of preparation margin. The causes are presence of blood and saliva contamination around the preparation, insufficient gingival retraction, inadequate coverage of marginal area with light body impression material are the causes. Here you can see voids on margin. The causes may be due to improper syringe technique, air trapped in intraoral syringe, or blood and saliva contamination around the preparation. Tearing at the margin is another common defect. This may result from low tear resistance of light body impression material, inhibition of setting, or premature removal of impression. Flow defects are very common. Impression tray does not support flow of material. There is excessive bleeding. When insufficient amount of impression material is used, there was tray movement or repositioning after seating, or working time is extended. All these are the reason for flow defects. Sometimes we see incomplete setting of impression material. The causes are inhibition of setting, inadequate mixing, or expired impression material. Now we'll discuss a little bit about alginate impression. Alginate impression is commonly used for making a diagnostic cast, for making a cast for the preparation of provisional restoration, or an acrylic prosthesis. Alginate recently, and better type alginates are available, which improved the dimensional stability, and surface reproduction. This is Hydrogum by Sharmak, Cavex cream alginates, Aroma fine by GC are good type of alginates. We can use it for some FPD work also, but it has to be poured immediately. Next. If you are going for hand mixing, use a clean bowl and spatula in the clinic. Use measuring scoops and jar for dispensing powder and water. Water dispenser is helpful for proper dispensing of water. Using running tap water for mixing is unprofessional. Alginate mixer can be used. Alginate mixer is hygienic and an impressive method of mixing alginate. The mixing time can be selected. The quality of the mix will be much better than hand mix, creamy and more homogeneous. The same machine can be used for mixing gypsum also. Now coming to the end of the session, I thank Dr. Shaju Mandoli, the president of IDA Malabar branch, for providing, and other organizing members, Dr. Unnikrishan, coordinator of CDE, for giving us this opportunity. Thank you for all for your patient listening. And I'll go for the clarity. If you have any clarification, you can ask questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir and ma'am, for that wonderful presentation. You have cleared a lot of doubts, and it was basically like more recent advances were also discussed. So a few questions have come here. The first question is, what is the size of gingival retraction cord that is used normally?
Gingival retraction cords are available in different sizes. It is like just like our suture material. It is 0, 20, 000, 40, etc. We have to select appropriately sized gingival cord according to the width of the gingival sulcus. For example, in anterior region, you will get more sulcus space. Sometimes in posterior region, there will be less space. So in such situation, in the posterior space is less, we go for a smaller size. For some cases, if the sulcus is greater, we will have to use multiple cords. That all depends upon the case, clinical situation.
Okay, sir. The next, okay, sir. Okay. It depends on the clinical situation. Okay. So the next question is, what are the indications of dual arch technique, the impression technique?
Okay, that's a good question. Dual arch is mainly indicated for single tooth restoration, like full crown, inlay, onlay. You can use 2 crowns. I have done successfully used this technique for making up to 3 unit FPDs. If you want more unit FPDs are there, it is better to go for a full arch impression, so that the lab people can adjust the occlusion, because more occlusal contacts are there. For single or 1 or 2 units or up to 3 units, it can be used successfully.
Okay, sir. I hope that cleared the question. The next question is, sir, are gingival retraction cords better or chemical retraction is better?
These are 2 different entities. Gingival retraction is a physical method of displacing the gingiva. The other one is a chemical method. Usually we combine both. So it is also called as chemomechanical method of gingival retraction. Chemomechanical method of, any problem? Okay. Chemomechanical method of gingival retraction. So always we have to retract the gingiva. In order to keep the gingiva in proper position, we have to remove circular fluid from the field, so that always we require astringent along the retraction cord. Retraction cord is available as retraction cord alone, or it is pre-impregnated. If it is not pre-impregnated, it is better to use a separate and astringent. But the astringent, as I told you in the slide, Dr. Vinny has discussed that some astringents can be used for controlling the hemorrhage. If there is any bleeding points present, the gingival retraction cord will not help much. In that area, we can use astringent paste. Okay.
Polyether impression, sir. Where do we use polyether impression? Can you tell a bit about the indication?
Okay, I just forgot about that. Now, polyether, the disadvantage of polyether impression material is it requires a special tray for making the impression. Preparing a special tray is an additional clinical and lab step. So that is why it lost popularity. As a quality wise, it is the best material available for making the impression. Other disadvantage of the material is more stiff compared to additional silicone impression material. So removal of the cast is also slightly difficult, especially removal of the cast and removal from the oral cavity is difficult. But the material, because material is having another property which is hydrophilic in nature, so it can be better used for recording soft tissues. So it is a special indication is for making impression of complete denture, wash impression, or making impression of an implant over denture, it can be successfully used. But in routine FPD work, it can be used. Only problem is you will have to prepare a special tray. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, there have been questions about the double cord technique. When do we use a double cord technique? When is it needed?
Double cord, or it is Patti reline technique. Yes. Okay, double cord technique in gingival retraction. That
yes,
I already mentioned that if the gingival sulcus is volume is huge, if one retraction cord is not sufficient to fill the gingival sulcus, we can use multiple cords.
Okay, so are we still using retraction cords, or should we move on to the newer methods like Exvasel and Magic Form? Like
in my clinical practice, I am not very user friendly with the retraction cord. I use some injectable type retraction capsule by 3M, or some case, majority of the case, I have a electrosurgical unit. So I use, if gingival retraction or subgingival extension is required, I use to remove the excessive tissue, and we'll get a proper, we can do in the coagulation mode, we can seal the bleeding points, and easily we can make a, because gingival retraction is very technique sensitive, because it may not work always well. When we make the impression, because of the compressibility of the material, the tissue will collapse towards the tooth. It will not work always successfully. Okay.
Should we use adhesion silicone or condensation silicone if we have the chance?
If price is not a problem, then you should use adhesion silicone. Condensation silicone is an economic option to adhesion silicone. The dimensional stability of the material is not as good as adhesion silicone. Some manufacturers claim that it can be stored for 1 or 2 days. Maybe it can be stored, but I prefer adhesion silicone for that. If you are pouring or preparing the cast immediately, then it is well and good. But if you are sending it to the lab, then it creates some problem. Another problem is that multiple pouring is also difficult in condensation silicon. Cost-wise, it is economical. The price is little bit cheaper than addition silicon. Quality-wise, it is okay. Both are having good accuracy of reproduction. Can you repeat? Hello?
Sir, can we use should we use electrocautery or laser? What is better?
There are two devices. Electrocautery is a faster mode of cutting tissues, and the investment is also much less. Laser is a more advanced option. It is a slower cutting method, but the better coagulation, less pain. The main problem of electrocautery is it has to be done under local anesthesia, and there will be burning smell in the clinic. Even I think I'm not very familiar with the laser because I have not used laser. I think the burning will be less with the laser, but more expensive. But a laser will cost few lakhs rupees, maybe 4 or 5 lakhs rupees. But electrocautery will cost 60 to 70, 80,000 rupees only. For a prosthodontist, electrocautery is sufficient. It is more faster cutting also. But if you have other practice like periodontal and other practice, then it is better to keep laser.
Okay, sir. A question has come about every other tooth technique, and where do we use that?
Every
other tooth techniques. Is there a technique like that even I'm hearing?
Vinny will answer. I have not. I'm sorry, I have not heard about that technique. Huh? I have not heard about if the area. I think it is about the gingival retraction. I have not heard about that technique.
I hope some. I will ask the doctor to be a bit more specific on that. Which technique is it? Okay, so going on to the next question. What is meant by 500 frames are needed for clear occlusion verification? I think it is for that intraoral scanner. You said that about 500 frames are needed.
That depends upon the company maybe. Because I am using a 3-shape shining 3D, and we initially record the opposing prepared tooth and the opposing cast. So in order to combine the upper and lower cast, many frames are required. The computer will analyze all the frame and make a type of articulation. What is it called? Virtual articulation, something like that. So that is for because that is just showing in the computer. That is why I'm saying, because in this software they are showing you will have to enter 500 frames are required, and we can count the frames like that. That may be different for some other companies. Okay.
Do you suggest rotary curettage?
It can be done. It is a recommended technique discussed in the textbook. It is using some type of ceramic burrs to cut the gingival sulcus. This is a surgical method of removing, but a minimal preparation will be. This is a good method. If your gingiva is not inflamed and very thick in good quality consistency, we can do that. It is a recommended technique.
Sir, the next question is, how will you check the marginal fit of a prosthesis before cementation? A few words about that.
Yeah, marginal fit. Initially, the marginal fit has to be checked in the cast. Then we place it in the oral cavity. The fit may be different because of the fitting problem or unnecessary scraping of the margin, etc. So we can normally, if it is a supragingival margin, we can easily visualize. Or if it is a subgingival margin, we can check it with the help of an explorer. If there is any catch, when the explorer is passing from the root surface towards the crown surface, if you are feeling any catch that means there is a marginal discrepancy. You can trim that margin. If there is excess material is there, then it is better to trim the margin, and we can use a clinical as a ceramic polishing. We can material discs are available. With that disc, we can remove the excess material. That is a recommended method.
Okay, sir. Okay. People have been asking about the investment for intraoral scanner, the entire setup. How much would it cost?
It varies. I think an economical version will be available for 7 to 8 lakhs. Like 3Shape and all are a little more expensive. An intraoral scanner with computer and software. Recently, it is available for. It is coming cheaper. Dentium is, I think, giving a more cheaper one for 5 to 6 lakhs. More and more products are coming from China, so the price is coming down. Because initially it was very expensive, like 15, 20 lakhs now, and even they will charge additional for the as a cost of software. Now there is no such recurring expenditure. Anyway, it will come down. It is a good method of capturing the impression.
Sir, the next question is, what is the right time to take an impression? Immediately right after the crown cutting, or delayed if the gingiva is bleeding? Or would you prefer chemical retraction?
That there is no right time. Like usually, if you are free and the patient, always the patient want to finish the work at the earliest. Normally, we will do the impression. If that normally we will make the impression immediately after the tooth preparation. But there are some times we have to postpone the impression making. That situations are if there is excessive bleeding, and if you are doing some gingivectomy procedures, and if you are not having any electrocautery or laser or any astringent gel with you, if there is bleeding is interfering with the making of impression, or if you are doing some gingivectomy along with the tooth preparation, in all such situations, we can give a temporary crown and we can call the patient in another appointment, after 1 or 2 days. Then we'll make the final impression. Otherwise, because patients are in hurry, we are also in hurry. So better to finish the work fast. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Is retraction needed for the digital impression?
Retraction is required because it needs because this is not a physical method. This is just capturing the image. Whatever is visible, that will be recorded. It will not displace the gingiva. If you want to get gingiva retracted, it has to be retracted, or you will have to use an electrocautery or laser to remove the gingival tissue to expose the margin. Okay.
Okay.
Initially, whatever is visible will be recorded in the scanner. Whatever is covered by gingival tissue or covered by blood and saliva will not be recorded.
Okay, sir. The next question is about polyether. Can we use it as a suitable material for border molding in complete denture fabrication?
It cannot be used for border molding because if you want to use polyether as a wash material, it is better to do border molding with the help of green low shrinkage impression component like green stick. You can do the border molding with green stick, then apply tray adhesives, polyether adhesives, and you can make a wash impression with the help of polyether, because polyether is not suitable for, because complete denture impression is impression making. We have to do border extension, we have to correct it. There is a lot of procedure involved. It is not a single step procedure. We need correction. So a border molding require a low viscous impression compound, low melting impression compound like green stick, or you can use a putty material to do that border molding. Then you can cover it with a polyether with the help of a tray adhesive. Tray adhesive is mandatory.
Okay, sir. Can you tell a few words about that 3M retraction capsule? How long we have to keep it in position?
3M retraction capsule is good it has come to, it has introduced this one recently, quite recently. I have used it for 1 or 2 cases only. It is coming with a, it can be mixed. It is coming as a capsule form. The capsule can be loaded in any type of composite loading device, and there is a small injection tip. It can be injected into the gingival sulcus. After some time, it will set, and we can remove at the time of impression. We can remove. It is working. It is just similar to all type of injection, all type of devices. It is well and good, but it has come recently. Maybe it has come. I get familiarized with it quite recently.
Okay, sir. So when there is a dissimilarity between the crown in the cast and in oral cavity, what could be the reason? How can we?
Distortion means distortion in the main reason will be, we mean disparity between the cast and oral in the oral cavity. There are a lot of lesions, but one common lesions are distorted impressions. The causes of distorted impressions are shaking of impression while making the impression. Means when you place the position, you have to place the tray in a single direction, and it should stabilize in that proper position. It should not be rotated, or there should not be rocking that causes a distorted cast. Other reasons are if the cast is separated from the tray, there will be distortion. There are other chances are voids or some flow defects. All these, there are so many reasons, but most common are these two. And another problem is if you are not, when you are using a putty reline technique, and if you are not using a spacer, some of our colleagues they take impression without a spacer. They'll take a putty impression first, then without a spacer they'll take a wash impression, and you will get an excellent gingival retraction, and you will get a very good impression. But there will be excessive hydrostatic pressure inside the impression. It will result in undersized die. Your process will not fit in patient mouth.
Okay, sir. Okay, I hope that answered the question. So the next question was, can you tell a few, what's your opinion about registering the bite registration materials?
Bite registration materials are waxes, putty, silicone materials, etc. Waxes, ordinary wax is not recommended. You can use alu wax. Alu wax, alumina reinforced wax, that is more hard. If you use a alumina or alu, it is called as alu wax. Alu wax can be successfully used as a bite registration. And when you take bite registration, bite has to be registered at the area of tooth preparation only. It may not be placed if it is not a full mouth or a long spine FPD. It is not placed in other areas, because other area there will be occlusal contacts. If there is any difficulty in sitting only, then only you will place the entire area. Or you can use silicone material. Bite registration pastes are available. When you apply bite registration paste, you ask the patient to close the mouth and inject bite registration paste between the upper and lower. Once the material is set, you remove the bite registration paste. Okay.
I think we finished. Extended for hydrogen 5 alginate indications. Can you specify
Hydrocom 5. The company claims the material is having good surface reproduction and good dimensional stability, but I am doubtful about the dimensional stability. I used this material for quite a long time. I mainly use it for cast partial denture cases. It is very good for cast partial recording. And FPD work, if there is some situation where we cannot use elastomeric impression material, like excessive bleeding or some situation, we can use this one. It is a good material. If you are not using a adhesion silicone or elastomeric material, it's better to use a hydrogum. It is slightly more expensive than ordinary alginate material, but it is very good material. Accuracy of reproduction is very good.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So in case of supraerupted tooth, how can we take an impression of that, as most metallic trays won't fit properly on such tooth?
Supra eruption of opposing tooth or supra eruption of the prepared tooth?
It might not be prepared tooth, because if it is prepared, then it could be a
Supra eruption of opposing. Actually, before any type of prosthetic procedure, we have to do an analysis of occlusion. If there is a supra eruption, we'll have to recommend a treatment for either. If it is a minimal supra eruption, inoculoplasty will be enough. If it is a severe supra eruption, then we'll have to go for a root canal treatment followed by a crown. It is better to maintain a proper occlusal plane. So that has to be included in the treatment plan. If you are making a FPD work in the lower and if there is supra eruption of opposing tooth, it is better to do that treatment also included in the treatment plan. That is the best method. You can use otherwise also, but patient will have some occlusal problem because the protrusive movement, there will be interference and it will not be aesthetic also. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. I guess that is all the questions that has come. Any other questions, please ask. So stopper and special tray technique. That is the next question that has come. Why do you need a stop?
Stop for special tray. This is a that spacing is the ideal spacing of an elastomeric impression material is 2 to 4 mm. If the thickness is more than that, there will be shrinkage. If it is less than that, it will be difficult to remove. To maintain that 2 millimeter space, we need stopper. Otherwise, it will sink and there will not be any space between the tray and your prepared tooth or other teeth. So in order to maintain the space, we need a space stopper.
Yes, sir. Okay. So then the dual tray impression, how will you pour a cast in that? That is a new technique.
Actually, if you are doing a dual tray impression technique, you need a good lab which support doing that work. Normally, I'll take the impression, I don't pour the cast, I'll send the impression to the lab. From the lab, they will pour the preparation with dye stone and opposing with the dye stone or any other stone. And they will remove the, if you want a dye preparation, they will remove the, carefully remove the tooth prepared cast and do a dye preparation and again reseated in the cast. Then without removing the upper, they will do, they will articulate. There is a special type of articulator available, unilateral articulator. With that articulator, they will articulate and do, because occlusal registration is very important in this situation, because if you are not recording the occlusion in proper, then there will be errors. Otherwise, it is a very good technique because the space is exactly what is available in the patient mouth. Whenever we articulate a cast, there will be interference like bubbles or voids in the impression will make elevated area in the cast. The space will be more. When you cement it or when you try it in the patient mouth, there will be high points. But in this case, the space is exactly what is there in the clinic. And if the technician is doing a crown in a proper occlusion, the same occlusion you will get in patient mouth. Okay. Only problem is that sometimes there will be, because lateral stability of the impression is less, because there is less lateral support compared to a stop tray. Because some cases there will be an increase in buccolingual width. That is one problem. That is why when you take the impression, movement has to be reduced. Then patient has to bite uniformly in this one. You have to adapt excess material. In some cases, you can also ask the patient to mold the material towards the tray, towards the tongue on the with the inside. You can on the lingual side, you can ask the patient to mold the excess material towards the tooth preparation. That is one problem I have faced with this one. In some cases, we are not very keen on very much on this technique. There are chances of error.
Okay, sir. Okay. I think that is all the questions that has come. A lot of your former students, Ranjit Ramakrishnan, a lot of them have said thank you to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
So next, next our president, Dr. Shaju Mandoli, would like to say a few words.
Few words to Arthana about something, sir.
Ah,
The reflection would how long you have to keep the reflection would be.
Rectangle has to be placed for at least 5 minutes, and it has to be removed. And that retraction code is used with the putty reline impression only, because whenever I use that impression has to be made within a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. So otherwise it will collapse again. So when you make the putty impression, you keep the retraction code in position. Then when you take the reline impression, just before the impression, remove the retraction code, wash the area, dry up, and inject the material and take the wash impression.
And how much that capsule costs, that 3M capsule, retracting capsule?
It cost. I don't know exactly the cost. I have used a few samples. They gave me some few samples. Maybe it cost. I don't know exactly. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, it was a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Vinay ma'am. Thank you, sir. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എവിടെയായിരുന്നു നടക്കില്ല. അതാണ് ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ പല ആൾക്കാരും പലത് ഓടിച്ചിട്ട് പിടിക്കാറില്ല. പക്ഷേ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ആൾക്കാർ നമ്മുടെ ഇവിടെ തന്നെ. It was a wonderful presentation, especially sir. That doubt clearing ഭംഗിയായിട്ട് ചെയ്തു. Hello.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Shaju Mandoli, the president of IDA Malabar branch, for giving us this opportunity. I thank all the participants for your patient listening. I thank Dr. Unnikrishnan for giving us this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.